Hey everyone, this is Will here from Infinity Muscle, and today I want to talk about cardiorespiratory training, or commonly known as cardio. Now, in order to effectively track your progress in cardio, you should get very familiar with tracking your heart rate. The two are synonymous. Now, I have another video on this channel that discusses exactly that, so please check it out if you haven't already. The first thing you'll need to do, once you know how to track your heart rate, is find out what your maximum heart rate is. A really good base to start at is to subtract your age from 220. So for instance, I'm 32 years old. That would make my maximum heart rate 188. Once you have your maximum heart rate, it's good to memorize it for the next step. You see, cardio is divided into zones and thresholds. Your level of intensity will increase your heart rate, and your heart rate will determine what zone that you're in. The more you do cardio, the better your heart becomes conditioned, and the better it will pump blood and maintain lower heart rates during your workout and in everyday living. This will allow you to hit new intensity levels or sustain higher intensity cardio intervals for a longer period of time. Right here would be an example of Zone 1 training. This is the easiest level, mainly reserved for active recovery from more intense zones. Zone 1 uses about 50 to 60% of your maximum heart rate. So for my heart rate in this zone would be half of my maximum, which would be 94. That's relatively resting. Here we have an example of Zone 2. For my Zone 2, it's typically 5 miles per hour. In this zone, you should be able to talk and recite 3 to 4 sentences easily. You should have a light sweat. Zone 2 typically consists of jogging or slightly more intense cycling. And this typically is between the range of 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. And due to its moderate intensity, this is actually the best zone for burning fat, because you're not quite burning carbs yet. You're just burning 100% fat in this, and this is technically still the aerobic threshold. This is Zone 3, and this is the 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. It is becoming harder to talk. You should be at a running pace, breathing harder. This is technically the middle of aerobic and anaerobic threshold. It's kind of a gray area. Distance training is, for like marathons, this would be like a good zone to train in. It's good to mix up this zone with Zone 2 and kind of have a full spectrum of cardio fitness. You can develop better conditioning and endurance by training in this zone. Zone 4 is 80 to 90% of your maximum heart rate. And for me, this is about a 10 mile per hour run. This is a full-on running, borderline sprinting pace, and you are completely in the anaerobic threshold, which is burning more carbs than fat, essentially almost all carbs. And you want to stick to training this for about 60 to 90 seconds, and then a 3 to 4 minute rest afterwards. And finally, but definitely not least, Zone 5, which is completely maxed out heart rate. This is the hardest intensity. For me, it's about 12 to 13 miles per hour at a sprinting pace. Talking is impossible in this zone, and you will be hitting the wall, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You'll hit the end of your ability to run and have to drop down to a lower zone or cool down altogether. You want to typically stay in around 20-second intervals in this. You could work your way up to 30 or 40 seconds. I wouldn't recommend anything longer than that. That's pretty much all I have for today. And as always, I do appreciate you watching the whole video. Please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. I will be posting more pertaining to fitness, dieting, etc. Check out my website if you want to try out a free week. $10 a week after that, and I'll make all of your own personal workout routines and diet. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.